Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for kindly watching this video. I know it's been a while since I have posted a proper video, like a long video, but I thought I'd get back into the swing of things with the new year. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my winter book recommendations. I think December's generally fine, like everyone's not too depressed, but I think when January and February roll around it gets bleak, so it's nice to have some great books to curl up with a cup of tea and get through in the sort of harsher winter months. So grab a cup of tea and I'm going to give you some of my recommendations for the winter. Enjoy! So the first recommendation I have is Winter Tales, written by Dawn Casey and illustrated by Zana Goldhawk. This is sort of a collection of folk tales, wintry folk tales from around the world. They're all super short, so I think it's perfect like before bed reading. They're all just super cozy and nice, and it's really interesting as well to hear folk tales from around the world. There's some that I recognised and some that I didn't, so it's just really nice to read. And also absolutely gorgeous illustrations. They're so beautiful, like just so beautiful, really immersive and wonderful and lovely for winter. So yeah, this is definitely one I'd recommend if you've not read it before. I've seen it on lots of winter recommendations lists and things before, but it's because it's a wonderful read. So the next book I have is The Silver Donkey by Sonia Hartnett. This, I think, is a really unknown book. I haven't seen it on social media anywhere. I haven't seen it in bookshops either. I found this because a local library to me were getting rid of a bunch of books, and I picked this one up, and I'm so glad it caught my eye because it's a really amazing read. It follows two French girls, Coco and Marcel, in either the First or Second World War. I'm not sure. I read this a while ago. Couldn't tell you, but one of them. And they find a British soldier, an injured British soldier, in the woods near their home. And it sort of tells the story of how he, in exchange for their help and for food and things, he tells them stories, and all of these stories are centred around donkeys because of a little silver donkey charm he has that the girls are enamoured by. I found this a really beautiful story. It has stunning illustrations, you may be able to tell. I'm a big fan of illustrations, but they're really lovely. And yeah, it definitely wintry vibes, sort of in the forest and in the cold, but really lovely. I would recommend this very much. So this is a little known book you may or may not be familiar with. It's called Harry Potter. I don't know if you know it. It's quite obscure, quite random. You may be thinking, why is this on a winter book list recommendation? But I think the Christmas at Hogwarts vibes are so cozy and lovely and wonderful and just make me want to be in the magical world. I love it so much. Something I've been doing is annotating the first book in the Harry Potter series. Obviously I've reread Harry Potter, as many of us have, many times, but I think winter time, that sort of January, February bleakness, is a really great time for a reread, just to sort of comfort annual reread of Harry Potter. And if you've never read it, then I suggest you do, because it's quite good. You might enjoy it, you might not. Worth a try. So my next recommendation is something I think is an absolute winter classic, and that's Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. If you've never read this book, you really should. It's, yeah, amazing. Obviously the first scene's at Christmas, and I feel like it's just such a cozy, wintry vibe that is really lovely to read in winter when it's cold out and when you're really craving those sort of cozy reads. I think that's all I have to say about this, really. It's just wonderful. I can't recommend it enough. Read it. So this next book I've yet to read. Whoops. I'm still going to recommend it because lots of people have recommended it to me, and that is The Snow Child. It's a magic realism sort of novel about a couple that can't have children, and then all of a sudden a girl appears in the snow. I think it's a retelling of a folktale. Obviously it's snowy, wintry setting. I'm really excited to read this one. I'm hopefully going to read this winter, January or February. It's going to be really interesting. I love magic realism, so I'm hoping it does that really well and gives all the wintry cozy vibes. The next winter recommendation I have is A Year of Living Simply by Kate Humble. This is a non-fiction book and it's sort of autobiographical about her journey of living simply, as the title suggests. It's got a lot of gardening stuff in it, so I mean, I don't have a garden, I'm a uni student, but even so, it's a really nice read. It's also got some recipes and food stuff in there, and all around it's just cozy and has some good life lessons, I would say, in it. So yeah, I recommend this one. My second to last recommendation is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. An absolute classic. Obviously it's Christmassy, but I think even after Christmas it's still really nice to read. If you don't know the story, where have you been? I'm sure you guys have all seen the Muppets version, which is phenomenal. But if you've seen the film versions and haven't read the book, I really recommend it. I am sort of a renowned hater of Charles Dickens. I don't like his writing very much, but this is the one that sort of redeems him for me. Maybe it's nostalgia, but still, point still stands. I think this is definitely worth a read this winter. And finally, we have this very dusty version of The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. This is, of course, a really wintry story. Again, a very famous film of it. If you haven't read the book, you've watched the film, I'd recommend that. It starts with sort of a wintry, cozy Narnia, and it's just so much escapism in that. And I love it. It's wonderful, and I really think it's a very good read for winter. Right, so that was my little stack of recommendations for wintry reads this year. I hope you guys had a good new year, and I hope the first few months of the year and all of the year go amazing, and I hope maybe some of these recommendations are helpful if you're stuck with something to read. Thanks so much.